Coming up on the sports desk, and then there were three area high schools left in the CIF state playoffs, and we'll tell you how all three fared. Plus, D. Sing racks up another accolade. The Bats are still on fire for the El Camino baseball team, and we'll introduce you to some athletes who are swimming for gold this summer. We'll have all this and so much more. The sports desk begins right now. Welcome, everyone, to the only sports show designed with the Torrance sports fan in mind. We are The Desk. Thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share your videos and photos, and by all means, give us some ideas for future stories. Do you know a local athlete or coach or team that should be featured on this show? Well, if you do, don't be bashful. Let us know about something you think is newsworthy, and we'll be sure to feature that story on an upcoming episode. It appears as if the basketball gods have answered the prayers of basketball fans. The Bishop Montgomery boys basketball team will play Sierra Canyon in the CIF Open Division Regional Semifinal. You are not dreaming. I repeat, you are not dreaming. Yep, this is real. The much-anticipated rubber match with Sierra Canyon is Bishop's next game, and that's because of what happened in their last game when the Knights played host to Mission Bay in the Open Division quarterfinals. We pick up the action in the first quarter. Bishop Montgomery up 1. Rajon Boogie Ellis, the crossover, the spin. He's got boogie fever. Buccaneers up 1 now. Ellis in the corner, passing. Josh Vasquez, one of his 3 steals on the night, and he lays it in. 2 of his 15 points. He also had 5 boards. Bishop leads by 3. End of the quarter now. It's time for more boogie. 2 of his team high 14. Mission Bay leads 16-14 after 1. That didn't last, though. Second quarter, it's a 1-point game again. Gianni Hunt jacks a tray ball. 3 of his 11 points. He also had 3 boards and a steal. Knights go on an 8-0 run. They led by 10 at the half. And here's how the second half started. Josh Vasquez to David Singleton. And D. Sing posterizes Ronald Lanning with a vicious throwdown. The student section is on life support after that one. Look at him. Oh, my. Just minutes later, Fletcher Tynan blocks Ronald Lanning's shot. And that leads to this. Singleton. And 1. That's why he's the Gatorade State Player of the Year, kids. D. Sing would make the free throw. He finished with 12. Bishop in control. Fletcher Tynan. Check this out. Beautiful. Yeah, it was that type of a game. You can dance if you wanna. Fletcher Tynan, beautiful pass to Gianni Hunt, and that's all she wrote, folks. Bishop wins convincingly, 56-34. Gentlemen, share your thoughts.
First quarter, they came out strong. We expected the best guy to make shots, and he did. Second quarter, we knew we had to step it up. We knew we kept pressuring him. He was going to get tired, so that's what we did. And, they got tired. They were searching for shots.
Our coaches scouted them very well. They gave us a good game plan of what we were going to do. And in the game, for me, it seemed that what we were doing in practice, it just transferred right into the game. So I felt like I knew what was going on.
We just came out slow and a little lethargic. And then at the end of the first quarter, Coach told us, we got to pick it up. We want to win the game. So second quarter, that's what we did. We came out, played defense. We played defense. The offense did it on its own.
There were some good things defensively, and I thought we did a good job on the glass. I thought our transition game was well. Obviously, the free throws were a little bit disconcerting. We didn't do a very good job there. And we didn't actually shoot real well, but I thought we did a lot of other things.
As I mentioned during those highlights, Bishop senior guard David Singleton has been named the Gatorade Boys Basketball Player of the Year for the state of California. The award honors the country's best student athletes for their athletic and academic achievements, and more importantly, their overall character. Singleton is averaging more than 25 points per game, and he has scored more than 2,000 points for his high school career. And he's been doing all of this while maintaining a 3.7 GPA in the classroom. David is now a finalist for the National Player of the Year award, which will be announced later this month. How cool is that? All right, the sight of Kayla Padilla wearing a walking boot could have caused the Bishop girls hoop team to panic, but luckily for their sake, it didn't. The top-seeded Knights opened the state playoff regionals without the services of their star guard. Question is, would it be an issue? Cedric Welton has the answer.
Tonight, the Lady Knights began their quest for a state title facing a familiar foe. And even without their star player and after a sluggish first half, proved they were more than capable.
First play of the game, Kayla Williams off the steal, hits the mid-range pull-up. Later in the first, Sophia Carroll coming up with a loose ball, finish, and one. The Kiana Hamilton Fisher miss causes a scurry. Kayla Williams scoops the ball out the pack and sprints up court for the easy bucket. Knights were down 8 at half. Sammy Isazaki from 3 to tie it at 49 in the fourth. Buckets! This would spark a run. Isazaki finds Carroll, who could not be stopped in the paint all night. Count that and a foul. Nicole Hayashi with the pickpocket work takes it in for the and one finish. Lady Knights win and move on.
The Lady Knights held their opponents to just 19 points in the second half. I caught up with Coach Noelle Quinn, Sophia Carroll, Samantha Isazaki, and Kayla Williams following the victory.
I mean, our lead, our captain of our team was out, so I thought, in my head, I was like, I need to step up because this isn't going to be my last game. I'm a senior, so I didn't want it to be my last game at all, so I had to step it up, and I have to lead my team to victory.
We felt pretty good after, but we know we can't start off games that way anymore, and I just had to step up, and we all had to step up to fill Kayla's role and play for her.
Well, with Kayla being out, that's a lot of points left on the bench, so I knew that I had to run my team and get everybody open looks. I knew that we had great energy on the bench, and we knew we have to keep the momentum. They had it in the first half, and we have to come back.
Well, it's tough playing without Kayla Padilla. We've kind of rode her all year, so to speak. She brings so much to the team, not even just her scoring, but her leadership and being on the floor. Our whole theme was to play hard for Kayla, and I think we flipped it around on the defensive end, got some stops, got some key baskets. Sammy shot lights out. Sophia handled the paint down low. Kayla Williams did her defensive duties well, and we survived another day.
The Lady Knights used a 12-0 run in the fourth quarter to take the lead and never look back, defeating El Camino Real 63-56. Reporting from Bishop Montgomery High School, I'm Cedric Welton, SportsDesk.
As you just saw, the Knights won their first-round game with Padilla sitting on the bench. The good news is Kayla Padilla would return for the Knights' quarterfinal matchup with 8th-seeded Granada Hills. Here again is Cedric Welton.
The Lady Knights look to continue on from their recent strong play in the playoffs, welcoming back Kayla Padilla to the starting lineup. However, not enough shots fell tonight. First points of the game, Lady Knights beat the press. Nicole Hayashi up to Autumn Kirby, easy deuce. The Highlanders responded in a big way. Off the miss, Brianna Torres finds Haley Burfield real estate for 2. The full-court press caused some issues for the Lady Knights throughout this game. Highlanders create the turnover off the press, then find Sarah Miranda for the long 2. Knights would fight back. Check Kayla Padilla take on the entire defense and finish. This began a run. Kayla Padilla off the steal, finds Kayla Williams up court, who goes in the paint for the smooth reverse. Too much Highlanders in the end, however. Sarah Miranda gets past Cyan Dyke into the paint with a floater. Highlanders would move on. The Lady Knights couldn't get enough shots to fall tonight, totaling only 14 points in the first half and 41 points for the game overall. I caught up with Coach Noelle Quinn and Kayla Padilla about the outcome.
I think we had a really good halftime talk. We realized that this could potentially be our last game of basketball, so we wanted to come out with that fight to hopefully get ahead. But I think it was just one of those games at the end of the quarters where we couldn't get the ball in the basket and make the right stops, clinch the win.
I thought our first quarter was really poor. We fought, the effort was there, but we just couldn't get over that hump. We didn't make a concerted effort to understand that we don't have a tomorrow to play, and I think that kind of was our Achilles heel today, just that extra push we didn't have.
Despite the playoff exit, this was a magical season for the Lady Knights.
a season they can build on for next year's run. Coach Quinn and Kayla Padilla reflected on this year.
I mean, obviously this loss was a tough one, but coming out of the locker room and just realizing that we've accomplished a lot of great things, reached a lot of milestones, went to Open for I think the first time in a while, or maybe even the first time in general, and beating a lot of teams like Sarah, our rivals, and just upsetting a lot. I think, again, it's everything to be proud of this season, and I'm just really proud of our team's growth because we really started from the bottom and just made a name for ourselves.
The Lady Knights fell to Granada Hills 50-41, ending the hopes of a state title. Reporting from Bishop Montgomery High School, Cedric Welton, Sports Desk.
Cedric, thanks. As for the CIF Southern Section champs, they were the number 7 seed in Division I, which earned them a home game in the first round of the state regionals. The West High Warriors played host to 10th-seeded Alemany, and that's where Danielle Alvari picks up our story.
The West Warriors were riding a 17-game win streak heading into their first game of state basketball playoffs. In the first quarter, freshman point guard Aneva James inbounds to senior captain Katie Timmerman for the easy jumper. Warriors down 6-2. Next quarter, James with the assist here to senior captain Lonnie Lum for the quick shot. Down it goes. Warriors still playing catch-up. Later on, James drives it in and then kicks it back out to senior captain Haley Jones. Jones for 3. 7 points for Jones at the half.
Alemany got out to an early lead in the first quarter, but with under 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, the Warriors tied it back up at 15 thanks to a huge 3 from senior Katie Timmerman. The Warriors went into halftime down by 2.
Third quarter, senior Kira Hernando to Jones down low for the bucket. Jones finished with 19 points and 15 rebounds. Fourth quarter, freshman point guard Aneva James takes it in for 2. She racked up 9 points, 5 assists, and 5 boards, but it wasn't enough in the end. The Warriors fell short, final score 53-47. After the game, I spoke with the team about their phenomenal season.
I told them no matter how this ended, it doesn't take away from what they did, and they're always are going to be able to get to call themselves champions.
This was a great season. We had 4 great seniors and a bunch of underclassmen that were also really good. Being a championship team takes all year, takes all 12 months, and starting this last March after our last loss and ending now, it was a long journey, but it made us all so close.
We started from the beginning together, on the varsity team together, winning our first CIF, and just everything we taught each other, we watched each other grow. I just love them so much.
It was very emotional. We were all hugging out, but our coach reminded us now we can celebrate a CIF championship. When we won, we couldn't celebrate that much because we had another game today. And now that our season's over, we can take it in stride and celebrate like we're supposed to.
How are you guys going to celebrate that win?
I heard Haley said parties at my house, so parties at my house.
Reporting from West High School, Danielle Alvari for the Sports Desk.
Danielle, many thanks. Congrats to the West and Bishop Montgomery girls hoop teams. They both had great seasons and magical playoff runs. They have plenty to be proud of. All right, let's turn our attention to the baseball diamond now, where El Camino College is simply being El Camino College. Despite losing 2 of their last 3, the Warriors continue to tear the cover off the ball, and that's exactly what they did recently when they hosted conference foe Mount San Antonio. Cedric Welton has more.
This was a calculated chess match the first 2 innings. Then the bottom of the third came around, and the Warriors unleashed a hitting clinic. First inning, Warrior catcher Jose Ruiz Jr. tries to get Anthony Walters out at third, overthrows it, and Walters steals home. Mounties up 1-0. Bottom of the third, Warriors find a spark. Jordan Fogers crushes the fastball for a 2-run homer. Warriors up 2-1. Same inning, similar result. Jose Ruiz Jr. left field knocks one out the park. 3-run homer to put the Warriors up 5-1 as they kept pouring it on. 3 pitching changes couldn't stop the Warriors from dominating this afternoon. I caught up with Coach Nate Fernley, Jose Ruiz Jr., and Jordan Fogers following the win.
I feel like everyone was taking it one pitch at a time. I feel like we came back wanting this win pretty bad.
We were just taking it one pitch at a time. We were trusting our team as a whole. And, just letting our pitch come to us and then just relaxing.
Well, I thought we got a really good start. Spencer walked the first guy, hits the next guy, and then after that he really settled down. And huge for us because we haven't had a really good start at that third spot, and he's kind of settled in and did a really good job. And we put up some big innings, and then he just held on.
The third and fifth were defining innings for the Warriors as they topped Mount Sac 9 runs to 1. Reporting from Warrior Field at El Camino College, I'm Cedric Welton, Sports Desk.
Thank you, Cedric. And while we're on the topic of El Camino College, how about that softball team? The Warriors have won 10, count them please, 10 straight games, and they're still undefeated in conference play at 4-0. The Warriors won their 10th in a row after erasing a 3-run deficit against East LA. Cassidy Robinson blasted a 2-run homer, and Ashley Machado scored 3 times in this one. Starting pitcher Clarissa Chiquete picked up her 9th win of the season. The Warriors are now 15-5 overall. Well, Garvey is at it again. Not Dodgers legend Steve Garvey. He's still retired. I'm speaking of Bishop Montgomery softball standout Jamie Garvey. The senior pitcher and first baseman has been bringing it this season, and Bishop's recent game with Cantwell Sacred Heart is evidence of that. For the Knights, this was their conference opener. It was a beautiful afternoon for some softball down on Torrance Boulevard. Knights getting ready for their first league game of the season, bottom of the 5th. Knights up 6-0. Alexandria Pfeiffer at the dish, and she smacks this offering into left center. Pfeif's got wheels. Catherine Hummer scores from second, and it's a 2-run home run when it's all said and done. And that rhymes, by the way. It's now 8-0 Knights. Bottom 6 now. Catherine Hummer on first. Jamie Garvey at the plate, and she absolutely crushes this pitch deep to left field. Hummer scores all the way from first. For Garvey, it's her second home run of the game. It's now 10-0 Knights. Garvey helped her own cause by picking up the win on the hill. She only allowed 3 hits and struck out 9 en route to Bishop's 10-0 victory in 6 innings. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout, but whatever you do, don't go anywhere because you won't want to miss this coming up next. 2 local schools battle on the tennis courts as North entertains Bishop. Plus, we'll check in with the North volleyball team. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Remember to follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Share your story ideas, post your photos and videos. We want to hear from you, Torrance. After all, this is your show, so be sure to get involved. All right, 2 of our local teams faced each other in high school boys tennis as the Saxons of North, who are looking to win their 2nd of the season, visited the Knights of Bishop Montgomery, who were playing their season opener. Danielle Alvari was there, and she has our story.
Bishop Montgomery traveled to North for the Knights' first match of the season. Head coach Quimson's advice before the match was simple.
Just play hard, have fun, and play to win.
The Knights did win 3 sets of singles play and 3 sets of doubles. The team this year features a lot of new, young talent.
It's like a new team and like everyone's new here, especially the freshmen. Every year new players are coming and there's different like play styles and everyone has their like unique styles.
Knights head coach Quimson said that his team is currently missing a few of their key players, but that he's still happy with the performances that he saw today.
They're doing a good job. Well, my number 1, it's not bad, so I hope they could go farther.
We were missing some teammates, unfortunately, but the rest of the team, we did pretty well.
Last year, the Knights fell short in the Delray League title match, finishing in 2nd place.
Well, I'm expecting to win this year, I hope.
As for the Saxons, the doubles pairs have switched around since the first match. Garrick Fong and Muhammad Hassan now make up Varsity 1, while Varsity 2 features Noah Hewson and Jonathan Ikamoto.
Varsity 1, they're like really good at lobbying. They hit their shots in. Varsity 2, we're more like powerful, but like we're not accurate.
They have a lot of different talents, and some of it's just being able to work together without getting mad.
In order to balance the pairs out, Coach Condiff decided to switch the players up, and the change has made all the difference.
Our doubles teams are getting a lot better. We're playing a lot more doubles instead of just 2 individuals, so there's a lot more teamwork involved.
We started winning games a lot more. We've been more consistent.
It's probably going to be a fight between both teams to see who's my best team for this year.
In the end, North won the match 12 sets to 6. Reporting from North High School, Danielle Alvari for the Sports Desk.
Danielle, thanks so much. Elsewhere in boys tennis, the Warriors of West High were back at home recently, and they were looking to get a game above 500 when they played host to the undefeated Centaurs of Culver City. The Warriors of West on the left, taking on the Centaurs on your right. Now, before the match, Warriors getting all jacked up. You're watching the number ones in doubles competition right here. For the Warriors, we have two freshmen, Jeffrey Yum in the far court, and then Vin Balaji in the near court. And they were up 3-2 over Rick Hamill and Chris Yang, but would eventually go on to lose 4-3. Let's switch sides now. Centaurs serving, watch this. It ends up with Balaji getting the point there for West. And then Yum and Balaji, they would lose this one, unfortunately, in 3 sets. West, they put up a fight, but the Warriors end up losing this one by the final of 11-7. To high school boys volleyball now, where the Saxons of North High were back at home entertaining the Buccaneers of Bellflower. Both schools were below 500 at the time of this game, and both were searching for their second win of the season. Terrence Davis was at North High for this one, and he files this report.
Things looked promising early for the North High Saxons, but a series of unforced errors allowed winless Bellflower to get back into the match and steal the momentum.
Late in the first set, Saxons up 19-13 when Tommy Fraker sets it up for Julian Chiba, who spikes it down for the kill. North would take the first set convincingly, 25-15. Late in the second set, North trailing 21-16, Fraker with the perfect setup for Zachary Becker, who shows off his power, Saxons making a late push. Moments later, Bellflower serving for set point. Sheba's spike attempt is dug out. Bellflower's Chad Ocampo sets it up for Adriel Rayla, who fools everyone with one of the slowest spikes you'll ever see to tie it up at a set apiece. Fast forward to the fourth set. North down 2-1. Becker's first spike attempt is dug out, but he bats down the follow-up to force the winner-take-all fifth set. Saxons were fired up. However, Bellflower would dominate the last set to stunt North's comeback. I caught up with a few of these Saxons to get their thoughts on the heartbreaking loss.
I think we just lost a little bit of our confidence when we lost the second game. We came out strong in the first, we lost the second. I feel that's what affected us in the third. And we kind of picked it up in the fourth, and just we needed to clean up some things, some small things.
I thought we did good. It's like we had Zach, he hit really good bangers, and I hit some too. Yeah. And overall, we made some simple mistakes.
The first game, we were fired up and we were ready to play, and then as we started making simple mistakes like nets and missed serves and missed hit, like serving or hitting things out. But then, after that, we lost our confidence.
The Saxons will look to get back in the win column next week when they face off against Culver City. Reporting from North High School, I'm Terrence Davis with the Sports Desk.
Terrence, thanks. All right, we're going to take another quick time out here on the Sports Desk. Don't move a muscle, though. Still to come, local swimmers are preparing for this summer's Special Olympics in Seattle, Washington, and we'll have their story right after the break. You're watching the Sports Desk. Tell a friend. As a matter of fact, don't stop there. Tell all your friends. We'll be right back.
Alexa, how do you tell if asparagus is still good?
If it's not moldy or slimy, it's okay to eat.
Enable the new skill from Save the Food on your Amazon Alexa and help fight food waste.
Welcome back. This July, Seattle, Washington will host the 2018 Special Olympics Summer Games. 3,500 athletes will compete, and 70 of them will be from Southern California, including athletes from right here in Torrance. And some local swimmers are training as we speak to qualify for those games. The plunge is where it all takes place, and that's where Danny Miskell picks up our story.
On Sundays here at the Plunge, a unique group of swimmers get together to train for the swim meets coming up in April. It's Torrance's Special Needs Swim program, and they are proving that even with having a mental disability, they still can do anything when they put their mind to it. In this program, you're welcome to either swim for the lap team to stay fit, or you can swim competitively to race and ultimately train for the Summer Special Olympics. The competitors are working on their stroke, conditioning, and for these athletes, swimming is the perfect fit.
Well, swimming is an incredible sport, especially for folks with autism and that have tactile difficulties. It gives them an opportunity to really shine. Plus, swimming, they're competing against themselves.
The Special Olympics is specifically geared towards shifting the focus from intellectual disabilities to powerful athleticism. These athletes are not only staying active, but they're making friends and offered the same opportunities to compete on a national and global level. Nothing is going to stop them.
That's why the special needs program is so important for their development as people. I just love the effort that they put out, blessed with having really nice warm weather. But we're out here when it's 50 degrees and there's a 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing and there's waves in the pool. And I'll still have 15 to 20 swimmers in those conditions.
And we all get by with a little help from our friends. That's where volunteer coach Jennifer Park comes in. She's a junior from South High and was looking for volunteer opportunities to beef up her college applications. She found her answer via Facebook and got more in return than just her volunteer hours.
I really like this program. I've actually been here for like a year and a half now, and I've learned a lot from interacting with all these different people. This taught me lots of life lessons.
Swimming isn't the only sport that keeps these athletes involved. For AJ Fry Jr., it's one of many. He's been in the program for 13 years and even gone to compete in the Special Olympics on numerous occasions. He's done so well that he continues to set both new standards and new records for himself.
And I'm undefeated in cycling. I'm 91 and 0 in Southern California. I did track and field in Shanghai, China in 2007, and I won a gold and silver medal there.
You heard right, Torrance. He's a gold medalist, and he's not alone. Also in the pool is Johnny Pierce, who has broken 7 records in the Paralympic trials of 2016. He'll be competing in the Special Olympics this summer, and the only one to represent Torrance in swimming. His folks, Tim and Irene, are volunteer coaches. The Pierces have been able to adapt their coaching techniques to the program's idiosyncrasies. It's only been a few minor adjustments, because with these athletes, they're just more of visual learners.
Most kids with intellectual disability don't understand when you talk too much, and it gets a little confusing. We have kids that do drills well, and they'll demonstrate, and then the other kids kind of pick up from that. Once they do it and they get better, their times drop and they become really good swimmers.
With the races starting next month, the swimmers are going to be trying to get their best times, and a select few are going to go to the summer games. For that reason, Tim sees this program as an inspirational platform to anyone with disabilities, because you just never know what can happen.
But maybe this might reach out to some kids out there that don't know about the program or are wondering about the program and how they should look up Special Olympics Southern California and find out what program might be for them, whether it be bocce or basketball or baseball or volleyball, whatever the sport is, there's something for them, and that might lead to something else.
And speaking of leading to something else, the heart and soul of the program, Phil Dooley, will be retiring this May to relocate to Oregon. Leaving his athletes and volunteers is the hardest part. So before he heads out, he's asking only one thing.
We are always looking for people who are willing to come out and volunteer that have some sports knowledge. With swimming, it's definitely the ability, to know about the strokes and stuff like that. With basketball, it's the same thing. And the willingness to get out there and participate. It's willing to bring in new people to the family.
This is a volunteer-driven program, Torrance, so if you have any past experience with coaching, the Special Needs Program would be an amazing opportunity for you to come and check out. Reporting from the Torrance City Plunge, I'm Danny Miskell with the Sports Desk.
Danny, thanks. If you'd like more information on the Special Needs Program, you can log on to torranceca.gov and click on the Special Needs link, which is located under Recreational Services, or you can call them directly at 310-618-2934. All right, that does it for this week's edition of the Sports Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate your support. My name is AJ Vittone, and I've seen, heard, and said enough for 1 week. We'll continue this conversation again next week, I promise. Until then, don't forget to follow the Sports Desk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and remember, you can email us as well. We'd love to hear from you. That's all the time we have, sports fans. We'll catch you next time right here on the Sports Desk.